Hi and welcome to Chemipedia chemistry classes for 11th and 12th standard. In this video, I am going to discuss about Sage-F rule. So Sage-F rule is nothing but a rule which is followed during dehydration of alcohols. It's a rule which is followed during intramolecular dehydration of alcohol. So dehydration of alcohol is nothing but removing water from alcohol. Intramolecular dehydration, which means removing water within the molecule. Intramolecular within single molecule. Okay, right. So first let us see what is the rule Sage-F rule says. Okay, right. So this is what the rule actually. When an alcohol undergoes intramolecular dehydration, when an alcohol undergoes intramolecular dehydration, if there is a possibility to form many alkenes, if there is a possibility to form more than one alkene, then the alkene which is having more number of substituents, the alkene which is having more number of substituents is formed as a major product. So that is what the Sage-F rule. An alcohol undergoes intramolecular dehydration if there is a possibility of formation of several alkenes. The alkene one which is having more number of substituent is formed as a major product. Okay, so now we are going to discuss this Sage-F rule with an example. Okay, example of this compound. So this is example what we are using here. So this is nothing but 3,3 dimethyl 2-butanol. The name of this compound is 3,3 dimethyl 3,3 dimethyl butan-2-ol or 2-butanol. So here this is the longest carbon chain of this compound. We have to start numbering from right side, so this can be named this way. Now you can see at third carbon there are two methyl groups, so that's called 3,3 dimethyl, and 4 carbon with OH group butanol, OH group at second carbon, so that's called as 3,3 dimethyl butan-2-ol. So these are the two methyl groups, isn't it? Right. Now when this is treated with concentrated sulfuric acid, a dehydrating agent, so water is removed from the compound. It undergoes intramolecular dehydration, isn't it? Right. As a result of intramolecular dehydration, this 3,3 dimethyl butan-2-ol is giving three different alkenes. It is giving three different alkenes. This is the first one. We are going to see the name later on. Okay, so this is formed as a major product. It's formed about 64%. This is a second compound. This is a third alkene. So the second one with 33%, the last one with 3%. So that this 3,3 dimethyl butan-2-ol, when it undergoes intramolecular dehydration in presence of dehydrating agent concentrated sulfuric acid, it forms three different alkenes, isn't it? So now let us see how these three compounds are formed, why the first one is formed as a major product and the last one is a minor product. So we are going to see with the mechanism. Okay, right. So now let us go for the mechanism. Right. So now this is nothing but the alcohol what we are using here, 3,3 dimethyl butan-2-ol, isn't it? Right. Now in presence of sulfuric acid, sulfuric acid will provide a proton, isn't it? Now that proton will be added with alcoholic oxygen, because alcoholic oxygen is electron rich. It has two lone pair of electron. So otherwise you can say that alcohol is getting protonated. So this step is nothing but what? Protonation of alcohol. Right, the H plus produced by sulfuric acid is getting added with this alcoholic oxygen. So you get a protonated alcohol. This compound you can call it as protonated alcohol. Okay, right. Now here the oxygen is given plus charge, because when H plus is added with that alcoholic oxygen, only the oxygen is sharing both electrons to make bond between oxygen and hydrogen. To make this bond, oxygen only sharing both the electron. That's why it is given as plus charge. It is given plus charge. Okay, right. Now the next step, dehydration. Next step is nothing but dehydration. Right. The protonated alcohol, the oxygen is electron deficient. It carries plus charge, which means it is electron deficient. Now what will happen is it will take up the bond pair. This bond pair between carbon and oxygen. This bond pair between carbon and oxygen will be taken by oxygen, so it becomes neutral. HOH, so it's nothing but water. It will be removed as water, isn't it? But now here this carbon is losing its electron, so it will get a positive charge. It becomes electron deficient, isn't it? So after dehydration, the second step, we get a carbocation, carbon with positive charge, what you call it as carbocation. You get a secondary carbocation, because you can see that C plus carbon, this C plus carbon is attached directly with two carbons, isn't it? This is one, this is another one, isn't it? So that this is behaving as a secondary carbocation. Okay, now from this secondary carbocation, a proton can be removed off. So next step also deprotonation. Next step also removal of H plus, so that's nothing but deprotonation. Okay, right. Now what will happen is, the hydrogen which is present in the carbon which is adjacent to C plus carbon, this hydrogen actually will be removed as proton. By the time the bond pair is moving between these two carbon atoms, a new double bond will be formed over here. Okay, right. So as a result of removal of proton from right side carbon, so you get an alkene of this formula. So, okay, right. So which is nothing but 3,3 dimethyl but 1-ene. Actually the compound can be named by this way. The numbering has to be started from right side. So 1, 2, 3, 4, longest carbon chain, 4 carbon with double bond but. Double bond is at first carbon, so but 1-ene. Then these two are considered as substituent, two methyl groups at third carbon, 3,3 dimethyl but 1-ene. Okay, right. Then so this is the alkene what we are getting by deprotonation of secondary carbocation directly, isn't it? And there is another possibility. The secondary carbocation can be converted into a tertiary carbocation by shifting of methyl group from the adjacent carbon. So what we called as methyl shift. So now here what will happen is, so near the C plus carbon, there are 3 methyl groups, isn't it? So one of the methyl group will be shifted over here. But now this carbon will get a plus charge. Now you will get this species. You get a tertiary carbocation. So now this process actually called as methyl shift. Okay, right. So compared to, you know very well that tertiary carbocation is more stable than secondary, which in turn more stable than primary carbocation. If there is a possibility of formation of tertiary carbocation, it is readily formed. But here from the secondary carbocation, we are getting a tertiary carbocation by shifting of methyl group from the adjacent carbon, which results in tertiary carbocation formation. Okay. Now this tertiary carbocation undergo deprotonation in 2 different ways. Now look at this. Left side as well as right side of this C plus carbon, hydrogen will be removed up or proton will be removed up. Suppose a proton is removed from this carbon. Now probably will get this as a product. Actually, so this is a product what you are getting when you remove a proton from left side carbon. So this is a product formed by removal of H plus ion from left hand side of C plus carbon. So you are getting this one, isn't it? One H plus is removed from here, it becomes CH2 double bond, then the remaining portion CCS3 CH3 twice, isn't it? Now, or otherwise a hydrogen in the right side carbon also can be removed as proton. This hydrogen can be removed as proton. That is removal of right side hydrogen as proton. That results in formation of this compound. Okay, right. So I think you can follow. When you remove the hydrogen present in left side carbon of C plus carbon, that results in formation of this compound. When you remove hydrogen from right hand side carbon, that results in formation of this compound, isn't it? Right. Now let us see the name of these compounds. Now here, this is the longest carbon chain, an alkene with 4 carbon atoms. So butene double bond is exactly at the center. So you can give number anyway. So you can give number this way, 1, 2, 3, 4. But double bond at second carbon, so but 2-ene, isn't it? And these two are considered as substituents. 2 methyl groups, dimethyl. One methyl is at second carbon, another methyl at third carbon. So 2,3 dimethyl but 2-ene. Okay, so this is formed as major product about 64%. Okay, I will tell you why that is formed as major. Then suppose if hydrogen present in left hand side, carbon is removed, probably you are getting this alkene as product, isn't it? Here the name can be given by this way. This is the longest carbon chain, the numbering can be done this way, forward direction. This is also alkene with 4 carbon, so but double bond at first carbon, so but 1 in, and these two are considered as substituents. 2 methyl groups, dimethyl. Among the methyl group, 1 at second, another one at third carbon, so about 2, 3 dimethyl, but 1 in. Okay, this is formed with 33%. Okay, right. So that is how we are getting 3 different alkenes when 3, 3 dimethyl butane 2-ol undergoes intramolecular dehydration. Okay, right. Now this 2, 3 dimethyl but 2-ene is formed as major product because this alkene is having more number of substituents. Actually it has 4 alkyl substituents. Okay, so now look at this. This is a carbon carbon double bond. All these 3 are considered as substituent. 1 methyl group, another one, third, fourth. There are 4 alkyl substituents. So this is a alkene with maximum number of substituents. That is the reason why it is formed as a major product about 64%. That's what the rule says, isn't it? If there are many alkene formation occurs which has more number of substituents is formed as a major product. Okay, right. Then look at the next one, 2, 3 dimethyl but 2-ene. It has only 2 alkyl substituents. So look at this. This is a carbon carbon double bond portion. Now this is considered as one substituent. This together, isopropyl group together considers another substituent. So this alkene has only 2 alkyl substituents. Okay, so that is formed as a next product, that is 2, 3 dimethyl but 1-ene with 33%. Okay, the one what we are getting directly from secondary carbocation has only 1 alkyl substituent, because see this is the carbon carbon double bond portion. Now here the whole together, this together considers one substituent, tertiary butyl substituent. This alkene has only 1 alkyl substituent. That alkyl substituent is nothing but tertiary butyl group. This is the alkene with least number of substituent. That is why it is formed with lesser amount, only about 3%. Okay, so this is what the mechanism of Sage's rule. Okay, I hope you are able to follow how the 3 different alkenes are formed, as well as what is the rule behind this Sage's reaction. Okay, once again I say the rule. When an alcohol undergoes intramolecular dehydration in presence of concentrated sulfuric acid, if there is a possibility of formation of more number of alkenes, the alkene which has more number of substituent, is formed as a major product. Okay, right. Thank you.